Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. My name's Alan. I'm the archivist down in the Folks Podcast vaults. Welcome. Today, we're gonna go way back to one of the first few episodes that Josh and Trevor did together. So sit back and enjoy.
This is the Folks Podcast with your hosts Josh and Trevor. I'm Josh. We're gonna try an experiment, and we're just gonna talk about random facts, things that make us feel good, things that we might be able to talk about. Probably not. We'll see if your facts stand up.
Question.
Answer.
What kind of person shall not be honored on a U.S. postal stamp according to the U.S. Postal Service and the Citizen Stamp Advisory Committee?
What type or what person?
What kind of person?
What kind of person? No clue. Couldn't even venture a guess. I have no idea.
A living person.
A living person?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of weird. I feel like Oprah has her own stamp.
No, she doesn't. Are you kidding me?
You
ever seen a fucking Oprah stamp?
I'm just saying, I feel like she would, or just like the O.
Well, maybe she makes her own stamps.
I would not be surprised. Or I wouldn't be surprised if you go on the show and it's underneath the seat and she just screams stamps for everybody. They might not be like legal stamps. I don't know.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you have any more stamp facts?
Nope.
How's your stamp knowledge?
Lacking. I know there's some stamps that are...
No, I'm just questioning you. Lacking.
I know there's some stamps that can fetch a lot of money for rarity reasons and how old they are and how important they were, but...
Okay, no. This is good because I've always wondered, so if you've got a friend that has like a stamp collection, which I don't know a single person that does,
I don't think
but
that's
maybe
really
like
a
your
thing anymore.
like not your grandpa, but like somebody's grandpa. Like you go to a random old person's house. They probably have a stamp collection. Can you steal a stamp and send a letter with it?
It's technically still...
Is it like...
It's still worth what it's printed, but you're not going to be able to send a letter with that one stamp because you have to meet the certain criteria.
Is it like the old legal bonds? Or the old like government bonds, I mean?
Well, it's...
Like they're still worth money, but not as much as you think.
Kinda. It's... I mean, yeah, you could stick like a... Like, the stamp itself could be worth like... just like $100.
At this point, it's like a fraction of a penny.
So through the postal service, like it's worth literally what's printed on it. If it's like a 2-cent stamp, it's only worth 2 cents to the postal service. But in a stamp collection,
they're like 25 cents a stamp now, right?
No, it's way more than that now.
Is it really?
I'm pretty sure.
Why are you thinking about a whole book?
No, I think stamps are up to like 80 cents.
Is it the same for every state? Is it it's federal,
yeah,
right?
It's federal, yeah. But no, so say you have like this amazing, pristine, one-of-a-kind stamp that's worth a shitload of money, but
like an old train or something stupid?
Something. And it has a 2-cent thing on it. In the Postal Service, it's only worth 2 cents of your postage.
Okay.
Even though the stamp itself could be worth a shitload of money. Checking the fact.
Yeah, it says it's about 47 cents.
Oh, I thought it was more.
I mean, postcards are 34 cents. Global Forever, which is international, is $1.15. Or you can do weird size, unusual they call it, envelopes for 68 cents. But it's 47 cents now. So if you have an old train stamp for 2 cents,
it only counts for 2 cents. So
you'd have to stack like 80 of them. 83 or so?
You would cover the whole entire letter.
Yeah.
You'd actually have to get a bigger envelope just to fit that many fucking stamps on it.
No, it wouldn't be 80. It would be 20. Because it's 47 cents at 2 cents.
Right. Yeah, you're way off.
20 something. Yeah, I know. My math was bad.
That'd have been like $1.60.
Well, if your package big enough, you know.
We did it. We talked about stamps.
Be serious for a second. You like did backlighting and shit. Like you were super active in like the music scene.
Yeah, backline.
Like
I did
Utah.
backlining.
Yeah,
I was a
sorry,
backline technician.
Sorry.
Indeed.
You got a lot of funny stories, man. You got like a lot of bands that you met. You crashed a truck one time.
Yeah.
You can talk about any of that, or you could just say yes.
I did. I knocked over a light pole. My first show. It was the Roots.
It stressed
that was
me
the
out.
show. It was rather stressful.
Do you want to tell the story, or at least an abridged version?
I can tell this. Yes. All right. So it was my first show, like actually going out on a show. So well, I guess I should explain what backlining is probably.
Sure. Yeah. Fine.
Just a quick overview. So
Okay.
backlining is when a band or musician comes to do a show, but they don't have any of their gear, so they have to rent it from a backline company. And I was a backline technician, so we would handle all the gear and go out and set up the show and tech the whole show, like stay for the whole show and make sure nothing went wrong. And if something went wrong, like replace it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this was my first.
Did you ever like stand there with your arms folded?
Yeah, on stage.
Watching over
Oh,
the
all
gear?
the time. I felt it was odd because I always had a backstage pass. I could
Yeah.
go wherever the hell I wanted. So it
Well,
was actually kind of fun. I could
Did
like.
you like watch the gear though?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I was pretty protective of it. Like, but
Really?
most bands are like, they're bands. They're musicians, so they're not
They're
gonna
pretty
fuck
thankful.
around. There were a couple. I didn't work one. It was. I actually heard about it because it was one of my favorite bands at the time. Something Corporate.
Yeah. I know.
And he
Yeah,
has
they're
a
pretty
shtick
bad.
where for his piano he'll like
They're
light
noted.
his piano on fire and like stand on it and jump
Oh.
on it, and he did that with one of the pianos he rented
Oh,
from the
cool.
company.
Well, he probably bought it though.
Well, he sure did after that, but he
Yeah.
didn't say. I mean, there was nothing like the
Yeah.
techs that were working the. It was
No,
a
I
big
would do
deal.
that too. That's fine.
But that was. But yeah, so I went out. It was the Roots. It was a free concert series in downtown Salt Lake, called the Twilight Series, and it was my first show. It was the Roots. There were like 10,000 people there. Although this was before any fans got there, but we unloaded. We had to pull over this little teeny bridge into this little like courtyard and back up to the stage.
This is in SLC in winter.
No, in the summer.
Oh, in
In
summer.
the summer.
Oh, I thought you hit snow.
No. This
Keep
was
telling the
straight
story,
up.
'cause
So
this will be new for me too.
we unloaded the truck. We set up all the gear, and then my coworker was like, "All right, here, like it's time for you to learn how to." We had to drive these big fucking box
the box
trucks.
trucks. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to do this. And he's like, no, you got to learn sometime. Like, go do it. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right. And so I get in the truck, and there's like this line of light poles that lead up to the bridge. And I, instead of like trying to turn around, like going forwards, I thought it was a brilliant idea to like try and back out. So I counted all the light poles, and I thought I had counted them all, but apparently I missed one, and so I started cutting the wheel and ran right into a light pole, and it just like it was one of those slow, like I felt the hit,
Yeah.
and then looked in my mirror and just watched it like.
It's like time slowed down, and like your whole career at that company flashed before your
Yeah, it
eyes.
was, and it falls over, and I'm just sitting there like, fuck, like what the hell, and I looked around and I thought maybe no one saw. And so I was like ready to keep going and just pretend like nothing happened. And then a security guard ran over and was like, stay there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. And so I'm sitting in the truck waiting for the security guard to come back. And my coworker walks out because he's like, where the hell, why isn't he moved? And he like comes out to the front of the truck, like looks at me, and I'm like, and he like looks around the back of the truck and sees the light on the ground and just looks at me and laughs and just walks back in. And so from then on, that was the very first show I ever worked. From then on, every sound guy and lighting technician, anyone in the business in Salt Lake that I worked with, that had nothing to do with that show, referred to me as the Crasher.
Yeah.
I would show up to a show with
that's a
random
good name
people.
now.
It was fine. I mean, my boss got mad at the time because he
That's
had to
your
pay
name
for
now. The Crasher.
it. The Crasher.
Yeah. That's it.
It was yeah. It was an interesting.
And that's why you haven't been
Experience.
back to Salt Lake City.
No, that was my very first show working that. So I worked for another like 2 years after that.
had probably like 30 people over, and there was a wrestling match in the living room, followed by a slap boxing match, and then I took off all my clothes except for my underwear and a Blazers jacket. And I went through, and every girl that had left her purse somewhere in the house, I turned it over and just spilled all of her shit out. And then I would just kick over chairs. I'd walk outside with people that were smoking and just like interrupt their conversations, playing devil's advocate. Like whatever they said, I would negate it like instantly.
You were just that fucking drunk.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's fucking hilarious.
No,
it's
really...
It's like an asshole thing to do. It's really out of my character, I think, but...
What's really funny is as long as I've known you, you've never actually done that.
No, it takes a lot. I mean, last year for the Halloween party, I didn't even get that bad. It wasn't until after you left when...
You told me you were really fucking drunk, but I never saw it.
It didn't really manifest itself until later. When I was, like, drunk and really tired, like, exhausted, but I was still awake. Our friend Tyler asked for one more cocktail before he went to bed, and I made him, I think it was, like, vodka and tonic water and cake sprinkles.
What?
Yeah. Just to mess with him. He drank half of it. I don't know. I can't really go into much more detail because I don't really remember it. I did try to fight somebody. I tried to fight Apple, actually. Well, in my mind, I thought it was a joke, but everybody thought I was serious. And Leaf and Vince pulled me outside. A couple old friends of mine, or ours actually. They pulled me outside and calmed me down, and I was like, I'm not even mad. I'm not freaking out. And they're like, yeah, you kind of want to fight him, it looks like. And he thinks you want to fight him. He wants to leave now.
That's pretty drunk.
Yeah.
It's funny because I cannot imagine you being like that, because since I've started hanging out with you,
Mm-hmm.
you've been so, like, I will see you physically drink a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But your mood and the way you talk, like, and present yourself doesn't really change.
No.
You like, as drunk, you get super drunk, I guess. I mean, I can't tell. As much alcohol is going into your body, I would imagine you are getting pretty drunk.
Yeah.
But you're the same. I believe that's what they call a functioning alcoholic.
Well, alcoholism is a disease, so it implies some type of diagnosis. But a functioning abuser of alcohol is possible. But I don't know. I mean, it's a thin line between abusing and using, because there's no reason to drink alcohol unless you're trying to get drunk, I mean, sure, if you like the flavor of red wine with your meal, that's a little bit different. But if you meet up with friends and bring a 6-pack of beer over, like...
It's time to get the party started.
If you intend on drinking a 6-pack of beer, it's not for the flavor. And don't fucking kid yourself. Because you would bring one beer if it was for the flavor.
It's like you have your case of, like, Miller High Life, and you're just like, I just like the way it tastes.
Doubt it. But
it's terrible.
I mean, I met people like that. I used to say that about Busch Light.
You still say that about Busch Light.
I still like it.
Or like Milwaukee's Best, the Beast.
Oh, I hate Beast.
Do you hate Beast?
Gross.
I thought you were the one who liked it.
No way.
Was it Ross who liked Beast?
I don't think Ross drank warm beer.
Yeah, he drank warm Pabst.
Yeah, he loved it. I mean, I'm not into it. And I feel like if we meet a beer snob, he'll probably tell us how traditionally a lot of beers are supposed to be warm. And
when it comes down
whatever, I don't care what they're supposed to be. They just taste worse warm.
When it's beers like that, like a cheap American lager,
yeah,
it should be cold.
Yep.
I can understand like a Belgium ale being like just slightly above,
like 45 degrees.
Yeah, or like Guinness is best served when it's I think about the same, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like 45 to 48. And lagers are supposed to be like 33 to 36.
Well, it's supposed to be as cold as the Rockies.
Which is cold. That's below freezing. Actually, you would get a frozen beer. I don't recommend that, especially if you freeze your keg and try to pull from it.
But yeah, cheap American beer should be cold. It's supposed to be. It's It's supposed to be refreshing.
I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be. I think if you're drinking warm beer, you're just abusing alcohol, you know, like.
Well, I mean, yeah.
In the truest sense, like
if you're keeping like a 6-pack in your room, just so like you wake up and you have like the shakes and you're like, oh, I need a beer.
Yeah, like you're not drinking that warm beer for flavor, and if you try to tell me otherwise, like you're fucking lying to me.
If you'd shut the fuck up for a minute.
I'm sorry.
So we had these kids, and it was like some birthday. I don't give a shit what number it was. These assholes that came in, and they were having a good time, and I didn't like it because I was having a bad day, and I think that somebody had like an abortion in the men's room. I'm not really sure. I was pissed off about something, and fucking these dumb kids were just like, fucking, let's start throwing fucking cake at each other. And you know what? If you cocksuckers are listening to this, I hate you. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you.
I hope they are.
They had a cake fight in a strip club.
No, these fucking
amazing, though.
First of all, these dickheads brought a fucking cake into a bar,
Which is a big no-no.
which is a big fucking no-no. And then they cut the cake on the pool table, which is a fucking 100 times big no-no, you fucking mongoloids. And then started throwing it at each other and getting it fucking everywhere. Okay? This was when my sister was bartending. And I don't know if they knew my sister or what, but fucking, like, these fucking idiots started throwing cake around. And I come out, I was cooking something, and I come out of the kitchen, come around the bar, and I was just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And like, oh, dur. I don't even know what the fuck they said, because I don't care.
We're just trying to have a good time, man.
Yeah, and
You're just fuming
I
at
hope
this point.
I hope that's exactly what they said. We're just trying to have a good time. And I was just like, get the fuck out of my bar right now. Get this shit the fuck out. And I flipped the fuck out on these fucking kids. And yeah, maybe I'm a dick, but
Well,
you're gonna
your name
fucking
is Dick.
you're gonna throw fucking frosting and cake all over the floor of the bar where I have dumb, drunk, drugged out strippers walking around, fucking slipping on fucking spit. Like, and you're gonna throw fucking frosting on the floor? You're gonna throw shit on the fucking pool tables, which cost way more than they're fucking worth?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, dude. You're a dick. Everybody's mad about that. I don't know.
So, do you want to hear that story that I've never told you before?
Oh, you mean the one you told me last night?
Yeah, but you've never heard it.
Yeah, sure.
Which one should I tell?
Let's see.
Oh, I'll do the nudie mag one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I mean, I haven't heard it before.
So, as the story goes, when I was younger, I have a clearer head than when I told this before. I was definitely a freshman in high school, and I had seen adult content on the internet, but I'd never seen a real nudie mag before.
And this is back in the era where, like, you would be waiting for that picture to load, like
Yes.
this small, crappy JPEG, and it'd just like
Mhm.
like a little line at a time.
We
And
still
it'd
had
take,
dial
like,
up, but we just got off of AOL.
20 minutes to get like a fucking picture loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used not like Napster, but like a program like that. And so like you would do the search.
It's probably like LimeWire or
Yeah,
something.
we definitely had LimeWire. It wasn't the original one.
Pirate
that we had.
Bay, something like that.
No, because that's mostly torrents, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean that's all that is. They're all basically torrents.
I guess so, yeah. But yeah, so you would go in and search, and you would like find like 4 or 5 things that you'd want to look at, you know, like redhead with big tits or something stupid, you know, like a little kid, I'm looking for porn and just type big tits in the search bar.
Big boobies.
Big old boobies or huge nipples.
Huge.
Whoops. There goes my fetish. So yeah, I'd seen stuff before, but I'd never seen a nudie mag, and I show up to school, and my buddy told me that one of the seniors had brought like a bunch of nudie mags with him, and he was selling for like $15. And I was like, yeah, get me in on that. I want one. And he goes,
That's like half a subscription.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was definitely a racket. That guy was robbing us kids blind for sure. So yeah, he went and set up the meeting. Went to go set up the drop because we did it in school in the locker bay, and so like I assumed that we'd have to be really careful, and so I was like ready, like I was thinking up like code names and stuff. I was like Maverick or something,
Red Fox,
Goose. And I get to the locker, and he's just this really cool like senior. He was like leaning up against his locker, and he had like fucking blue jeans and boots and a white t-shirt with cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve, and pulled his shades down over the bridge of his nose to look at me. And his girlfriend was standing there, and I didn't expect a girl to be there, and I got really embarrassed, like really red in the face, and she made a comment about how like I was so cute and like that he should just give me the stuff. And so
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what she said. But it was something along those lines.
Last night you were like, you want to buy a nudie mag?
Oh, yeah, she rubbed it in. She talked to me for a while.
Hey, maybe she was into it.
I don't think she was. I think she saw how embarrassed I was and was just like
fucking with you.
Harmless fun. Now I look back and I'm like, oh, that is really funny. Like, that was nice of her to try to like talk to me and joke with me, because I was being so awkward. Like I was blushing, and I was like, my hands were all sweaty, and I was like wringing them, and I like had my backpack open. I was just sitting there like waiting for him to like throw it in there.
It was like full of mom's spaghetti.
That was my pockets. So he grabbed out the nudie mag. It was a Penthouse, and I like put it in my backpack and sandwiched it like in between a notebook and a binder, like in between pieces of paper, and all like for the rest of the day I was super scared about opening my backpack, but I couldn't wait till I got home. I get home, and I was the only one there, and pull out this nudie mag, and I start looking, and I mean, for a kid there's really only one reason why you have a nudie mag. I'm not going to get into that, but I was really surprised to find that there was like articles and stuff. There was jokes and comics, and they had actually like written stuff up about the girls. And so I was like, all right, well, there's a deed that needs to be done, but I'll save that for later. For now, I'm going to read up on this bad boy. And I hadn't even gotten into it. Granted, I'm not trying to like dodge the fact that I had intended fully on getting into it, but I hadn't got into it yet. And my dad comes home, and I didn't hear him come in the door, opens up my bedroom door, and I look at him and just fucking throw the nudie mag like at him, like across the room in his general direction, and it hits the wall, slides down behind the dresser, and he just kind of like looks at me like with his head kind of down, and like looks at me like over the bridge of his nose, and it's just like, what the fuck was that? And I told him it was my Boy Scout magazine. He said, that's just my boy's life, Dad. It's Boy Scout stuff. It's official business. Don't worry about it. So he moves the dresser and pulls my Penthouse out, and he walks over to my bed and like slams it down on the bed next to me, and he says, get this shit out of my house. So I tucked it in between my mattresses.
And then you got into it.
Yeah, probably a few times. I mean, I can't specifically remember. It's probably because I did it so often back then that I can't pick out one.